Like. Hi students. Today we are going to be working on our math in our math workbook, the little thin one. Okay, so I want you to get that. And we're doing page P17 today, and it is lesson 1.8. Looks like this. It says estimating differences at the top here as the title. So I want you to pause this video and go get this page. Again, it is page P17. All right, now that you have that page, we're going to do a couple of these problems together. Okay, we're not going to do all of them, just a couple of them. So if you remember last week, we estimated sums. Now a sum is the answer to an addition problem, and a difference is the answer to a subtraction problem. Okay, that's very important that you know that. So this worksheet today, we are working on subtraction because we're estimating differences. Okay, so we're going back to estimating and rounding today. So hopefully we didn't forget how to round today, but that's okay because I'm going to help you now. So number one is already done for us. So we're going to work on number two. And number two says 762 technical difficulties. 762 minus 300. Now, we are not actually solving this problem exactly the way that it is here, okay? We're estimating. So we are finding, we're rounding these numbers, and we are going to estimate what the answer would be. So 762 minus 332. Whenever there is three digits, I want you to round to the nearest 100. Okay, it just makes it easier. And when there's two digits, you round to the nearest 10. Okay, so for here, since these numbers are three digits, we're rounding to the nearest 100 here, so we can estimate. Okay, so remember in our rounding rap song, it says find the place value, circle the digit, and the place value that we're rounding to is nearest 100. So I'm circling the number in the hundreds place here, which is the 7. Move to the right and underline it. Okay, now remember 0 through 4. The circle stays the same. And then 5 through 9, add 1 to the circled number. Okay. So this is extremely important. So is the 6 here, is that 0 through 4 on a number line, or is it in between 5 through 9 on a number line? I feel like I've said that so many times because we have been rounding so much. So is 0 through 4, or is 6 0 through 4, or 5 through 9? And you should be thinking that 6 is 5 through 9 on a number line because it's in between 5 and 9. Okay, so that means that we add 1 to the circled number. So we're adding 1 to this number here. So that's going to change to an 8. So I'm just going to draw a little arrow. And you should be writing on the paper with me. So that's going to change to 8. And then if you remember all of the other numbers, turn to 0. So that's going to turn to 800. Okay, now we have 332, rounded to the nearest 100. So we're going to circle the 3 in the hundreds place because we're rounding to the 100. Move to the right and underline it. Now is 3 in between 0 through 4 or 5 through 9? And if it helps you to write down a number line on your worksheet, you can definitely do that. So 3 is in between 0 through 4 on a number line. So that means the circle stays the same. Okay, so this 3 is going to stay the same. and all of the other numbers turn to 0. Make sure you're lining up your place value. See how my 1s are right on top of each other, my 10s and my 100s. So now I have to do 800 minus 300 to estimate what this answer would really be if I was going to do it, which we're not even going to actually do this one. We're just going to estimate here by using our rounded numbers. So 800 minus 300, well, we always start in the ones place. 0 minus 0 is 0. 0 minus 0 in the tens place is another 0. And 8 minus 3 is 5. So 500 is your answer for problem number 2. Okay, so we are going to do number 3 together. So I'm going to erase this. It's a little bit tricky to erase on this because it's not very a big eraser. So just bear with me. So you should be looking at number 3 on your paper. Okay. I'm going to erase this problem. And number 3 says 823 minus 242. So we are going to round these numbers to the nearest 100 because they are 3 digits, right? There's a ones place, a tens place, and a hundreds place here. All right, so 823 rounded to the nearest 100. Our first step is to find the place value, circle the digit. So we're going to circle the 8 because we're rounding to the nearest 100. Move to the right and underline it. Now, is this 2 in between 0 through 4? Or is it between 5 through 9 on a number line? 2 is in between 0 through 4. Okay, so that means that the circle stays the same. So this 8, the circled number, it's just going to stay the same. It's just going to stay an 8. So you should be writing on your paper with me. And then, oh, all of the other numbers turn to 0. That's the easy peasy part. Okay, 242. Now find the place value, which would be the hundreds place. Circle the digit. Move to the right and underline it. 0 through 4, the circle stays the same. 5 through 9, adding 1 is the game. So is 4 in between 0 through 4 on a number line? Or is it in between 5 through 9 on a number line? 4 is in between 0 through 4, right? It is 4. So it's in between 0 through 4. So this circled number is just going to stay the same again. Okay, just like we did in this top number, the 2 is just going to stay the same. So that's going to be 2, and then all of the other numbers turn to 0. Make sure you're lining up your place values here. Now we have 800 minus 200, to estimate the difference. That means we are estimating what this subtraction problem would be if we actually did it, okay? And if you really want to, you can do this problem. You can solve it, but I'm not going to do that right now. We're just going to estimate here. So 0 minus 0, 0, 0 minus 0, 0, and 8 minus 2 is 6. So our answer for number 3 is 600. All right, we're just going to do one more together. And then I'm going to let you complete a seesaw assignment on your own. And if you would like to do the rest of this practice paper for practice, then I would love that, but you definitely do not have to do that. And if you're still confused after we do this third problem, then you can always rewatch this video. I just don't want to do the entire paper with you because I think that might get a little bit too much. So we're just going to do number 4 together, which is 98 minus 49. So here we only have 2-digit numbers. Oops. So that means we're going to be rounding to the nearest 10 because we don't have a hundreds place here. These are only two numbers, two digits. So we're only rounding to the nearest 10. Okay, so find the place value, circle that digit. Okay, so the place value that we're rounding to is 10, so we're going to circle the 9 because the 9 is in the tens place. Move to the right and underline it. Now, is the 8 in between 0 through 4 or 5 through 9? 8 is in between 5 through 9 on a number line, so we add 1 to the circled number. Oh my gosh, well, adding 1 to this 9 here, that's 10. So that's great. We just crossed over into the hundreds. So it's just going to be this, 10. Okay, don't let that confuse you because the 9 is just going to change to 10 because we just crossed over into the hundreds. And this 8 is going to turn to 0. Okay, so 98 rounded to the nearest 10 is actually just 100. Now 49 to the nearest 10, we're going to circle the 4 in the tens place. Underline the 9. Is 9 in between 0 through 4 on a number line, or is it in between 5 through 9 on a number line? If you're thinking that it's in between 5 through 9, you are correct. So we add 1 to the circled number. So this 4 is going to change to a 5. Now remember, this is a tens place, so we're going to put it underneath the tens here, okay? And then that 9 will turn to 0. So we have 100 minus 50. Well, we always start in the ones place. 0 minus 0 is 0. 0 minus 5. Oh, can we do that? No, we can't do that. That's a big bottom problem, as I like to say. So we have to go borrow from the hundreds. So I have to cross off this 1 here. That's going to turn to 0. And then this is going to turn to 10. So now I have 10 minus 5. 10 minus 5 is 5. So the answer here is 50. Okay, so if you would like to do all of this paper, then that would be awesome. Okay, great. But if you don't want to, then you can just go ahead and go to the seesaw assignment. Now, I would recommend doing this whole paper or just a couple more problems if you're still confused on this. Or I would even suggest to rewatch this video and redo those problems with me, okay? But if you are good to go and you really understand what's going on here, then you can go ahead and just do the seesaw assignment, okay? Remember that I'm always available to help you if you need it during my office hours, and you can find my office hours on our Bitmoji classroom, okay? I will talk to you all later, and I hope you are having a great day so far. Bye.